Hello, my name's Debbie Lynn and I'm the owner of Tomb Talk. Tomb Talk works with you to produce a document for your family to use when you pass away. It's very hard when you lose somebody. It's very shocking and it leaves people very, very vulnerable, and at a time when they've got to do an awful lot of things that are a legal requirement. One of the most difficult things is having to go through your personal effects and find documents that they're going to need. Your birth certificate, your passport. These are legally required to register somebody has died, and they have to be done within a time frame. What we do in this document is we put everything together, not necessarily putting it into the folder, but telling your family where to find them so they don't have to go through all of your drawers and your personal effects, which is terribly, terribly difficult for a lot of people. Now, I understand you might have had a will made, or you might have made some provision already, but we go into quite a lot of detail in this document so that the family has it all there. People will want to ask you questions and you're not there to answer them. For example, what do you want for your funeral? Do you want to be buried or cremated? Well, you might have given an idea, but how do you want that to go? What would you like to have said? How would you like people to be talking about you, and how would you like to be remembered? But it's also practical things as well. Like, I bet you might have a will maybe, and maybe you've put your valuables in there with a list of who's going to get what. And maybe you'll be thinking, oh, my family member was going to make sure that Auntie whoever gets my coffee table. Well, if it's not written down, which it usually isn't in a will, they're not going to know, and it won't necessarily happen. Your family might have questions, or you might be trying to decide who gets your engagement ring, for example, or your wedding ring, or a trophy or something of particular sentimental value to you. And you might bequeath it to one person, and then they're looking at their brothers and sisters and having conversations and possibly arguments, and don't really understand why you've left it to that person. This document gives you a chance to try and cut some of the family issues that happen, some of the family arguments. I've left my ring to this person because of this. Now, I know the rest of you might be disappointed, but I've left you whatever else it might be. And these are just examples of the sorts of things that we can put into a document like this that will save your family time, money, stress, and arguments. There's nothing worse than departing and having a family argue and they don't speak for years. So this document is designed to minimise all of that. I can't guarantee it's going to get rid of all of that, but it will certainly minimise things. So if you think that the Tomb Talk document might be for you, the best thing to do is give me a call. The number will be at the end of the video. We'll have a chat, make sure that you understand what you're getting and that you're happy with the process. Then what we'll do is we'll arrange a time when we can get together and have a chat and sort the document out. I'll go through the questions and everything with you, the procedure, and then what happens is at the end of that I'll take a lot of notes, type it all up, and then send it to you with the notes for you to dispose of, and then you've got your document to put where you want to, save how you want to, add to it what you want to. Oh yes, okay, so a little bit more about me. I lost my brother about 7 or 8 years ago, and when I lost him it was very traumatic. As you can imagine, it's always very difficult. He was a cancer victim. But what he'd done for me was to sort out all of his documents, so actually dealing with the funeral was really quite easy to do. My mum had early stage of dementia, and John had a very simple funeral, and that worked really, really nicely. And because she'd seen that, she said to me, "This is what I want at my funeral." So that kind of sorted my mum as well. So my mum eventually passed a couple of years ago, and her funeral, it was just much easier to sort out. Although I've got to say, well, not all of the paperwork was in the right place, so it wasn't quite plain sailing. But so that just leaves me now. I'm minus caring role for mum. But what I do to balance everything up is I am a violinist. I play music for weddings and special occasions, birthdays, all sorts of things like that. I spend my time during the day looking after my greyhounds. So I've got 5 of the little darlings. And I like to read. I like to get out and meet people. And basically, that's a little bit about me. If you'd like to contact me, here's the information. You can call me or email me just as you like.